average hockey fan here once again, and I'd like to get into tonight's game between Montreal Canadiens and Philadelphia Flyers. It's a must-win for both teams. It's more of a must-win for Philadelphia because they are trying to get back in the playoffs. They have been hot lately with Carter Hart being called up whatever it was, 20 games ago or something like that. They have been a good team. Realistically, though, they're probably not going to get into the playoffs. They're 7 or 8 points out in the Metro Division, I think, or 6 or 5. I don't follow Philly that much, but I know they're quite a bit out, and there's a couple teams ahead of them. As for Montreal, they'd like to gain a bit of space on Carolina and Pittsburgh and Buffalo and secure that first wild card spot. You're probably not going to get the third or second spot with Boston and Toronto playing like they are and making the moves that they are. We're all going to see what's going to happen at the deadline. I think Montreal is going to bring in some help, maybe a left-handed D, maybe another depth guy. You don't really know with MB. It's really hard to tell what he's going to do. Heard a lot of people saying he's going to deviate from the plan, bring in a big guy. I've been hearing things about Matt Duchene lately. Been hearing things about Burakovsky in Washington. Can't pronounce his name, but anyways, the guy in Washington. Been hearing a couple names out there for sure. I don't think Matt Duchene's realistic. I heard Doug McLean say it yesterday in Hockey Central. I made a little video about it myself. I don't think realistically the Habs would do that. But anyways, both these teams want this win tonight. It's going to be two hungry teams. I got a feeling it's going to be a physical team. Every time these guys play, it's a good rivalry. They do have a great rivalry in the playoffs. Recent rivalry over the past 10 years. They've met up a few times. Philly has gotten the better of them in the playoffs, of course. 28, 25, and 7 for Philly. 63 points. They're currently 6th in the Metro Division. 3-2-0 over the last 5. In their last game, they lost 5-2 to Tampa. No shame in losing Tampa. We all know how good Tampa is. They've already beaten our team 3 times this year. Their power play is 17.32%. Their penalty kill is 80.7%. Their goals for is 178 at 17th. Their goals against is pretty brutal. Before Carter Hart came up, Philly had a lot of struggles with their goaltending. They're kind of like Florida. They got a good team in front of them. Couple players that they could want to bring in and out. They do want to add a bit of depth and stuff. But they got a pretty decent team in front of them. But their goaltending has just been so shabby. Their goals against 201, 27th in the league. Their hottest player right now is Sean Couturier. He has 4 points in the past 2 games. He has 2 assists in the last game and 2 assists in the game prior to that. Their goalies is Brian Elliott, who they recently brought in. 15 games played, 6-7-0, .914 save percentage, 2.51 goals against, and 1 shutout this year. One thing I got to say about Brian Elliott, he's played 15 games this year, but he's been pulled twice out of those 15 games, so he is a good goalie. He has decent stats, but can you really rely on a guy that's going to get pulled twice out of 15 games as your starter? And I've been hearing that's what Philadelphia is going to do, that they might be putting Carter Hart down. To me, that would make no sense. Carter Hart is their second goalie. They got 3 goalies slotted under their team. Carter Hart, 21 games played, 13 wins, 7 losses, 1 overtime loss, .920 save percentage, 2.67 goals against, 0 shutouts. Amazing rookie. People are saying he's the next Carey Price down the road. He's going to be the next Carey Price, and I believe it from what I've seen from him. He was good in the World Juniors. He's been good in the NHL. He has sick AHL numbers. He's just a good all-around goalie. I got a feeling he's the future when it comes to goaltending. Neuwirth, actually another guy is the guy in St. Louis. I think it's Binghamton, or I can't remember what his name is. He's really good too. He's excellent. And Neuwirth is their other goalie who's slotted. 7 games played, 1 win, 4 losses, 1 overtime loss. Not good numbers for this guy. I would love to see him in net against Montreal. But all we know, this backup could come in and look like Patrick Roy in his prime, because it just seems to happen when weak goaltenders play against Montreal. They seem to just stand on their head. He had a .859 save percentage, so abysmal save percentage. 4.26 goals against, and 0 shutouts for that guy. Their leaders, their goal-scoring leaders, their points leaders, is Claude Giroux in 60 games played. He has 17 goals, 44 assists, 61 points. He's a +1, has a 9.9 shooting percentage. Couturier, 58 games played, 24 goals, 32 assists, 56 points. He's a +4 and has a 15.1 shooting percentage. Voracek is their 3rd leading scorer. 60 games played, 15 goals, 35 assists, 50 points, -13, 9.6 shooting percentage. Keys to victory for Philly is they got to have strong goaltending. Whoever's in there, Hart or Elliott, I would assume it would be one of those two. They want to stand on their head against Montreal, because Montreal has been coming lately, and they're hungry for goals. They had a couple of games prior to their last one where they struggled a bit to score goals, but they've been looking like a team that once they open the floodgates, they're not going to stop. Let's hope against a big win happens tonight against Philly. I got a feeling Montreal's due for a game where they're going to have 5 or 6 goals. They're just playing too good not to. They got to take advantage with their special teams. They have better penalty kill and better power play. Montreal, be opportunistic when you get your chances and get your big players to step up. That's the keys to victory for Philly. I don't want them to win, of course. As for Montreal, the record's 32-21-7, 71 points. They won their last game against Columbus. They're 4th in the Atlantic. Penalty kills abysmal, dead last in NHL, 12.7. Power play, 79.58%. Goals for is 179, 16th in the league. Goals against is 11th with 176, so a lot more goals less than Philadelphia. We clearly had better goaltending than Philadelphia, besides how bad Niemi's been. He hasn't been worse than Neuwirth, that's for sure. Goalies, Carey Price in 46 games played, 24 wins, 24 wins, 16 losses, 5 overtime losses. .916 save percentage. I don't know how that didn't jump after last game. It was .930 save percentage last game, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know how that didn't jump. 2.56 goals against and 3 shutouts so far for Price this year. Very, very solid goaltending for Price the past 15, 20 games. He has been excellent. Every time he's in net, even when they lose, Price looks good in that loss. Niemi, 16 games played. We all know how bad it went for Niemi last game. I really don't want to see him play anytime soon. If Montreal can get 8 points up on the wild card, then put him in there. These games are too big to play Niemi right now. 16 games played, 8 wins, 5 overtime, 8 wins, 5 losses, 2 overtime losses, 0 shutouts, .889 save percentage, 3.75 goals against. Montreal's hottest player has been Domi. He has 3 goals, 1 assist in his past 2 games, and has recently passed his career high in points. Domi, 60 games played, 20 goals, 32 assists, 52 points, +9, 14.9 shooting percentage. If you hear a baby in the background, guys, that's my daughter. She's out eating some Domino's pizza, and she's really loving it. I can hear her out there enjoying it myself. Sorry if there's a baby in the background yelling pizza and cheese, but hey, that's just the way it is when you got a kid. Drouin is their second leading scorer. 60 games played, 17 goals, 29 assists, 46 points. He's been a -6 in the past 3 games. Drouin's been struggling lately after having 9 points in 3 games, looking really good at Winnipeg. Drouin has been a ghost. He needs to show up. If this team's going to have any chance of doing any damage in the playoffs or getting the power play better, they need Jonathan Drouin to be the guy he was in Winnipeg, or at least show up a bit more. Because when you don't work hard, it sticks out like a sore thumb on this team. He's a -4 with 10.8 shooting percentage. Thomas Tatar had a big game last game. 59 games played, game winner last game, 19 goals, 25 assists, 44 points. Is going to hit 20 goals again this year. A perennial 20-goal scorer, +14. 12.3 shooting percentage. The keys to victory for Montreal. Obviously, solid goaltending from Price. I got a feeling, get on top of Philly earlier, get 2 or 3 goals on your goaltenders, get them shook, play with the lead. Montreal, it seems to always win when they can play with a decent lead, unless it's Tampa, of course. But Montreal always seems to play when they can win. Be physical. Don't let Philly wear you down with physicality. Make smart plays in a neutral zone. Don't try these dumb stretch passes or these lazy backhands that are going to get turned over. We've seen what happened against Florida, what can happen if he does that. Try and get a power play goal. Get some confidence through your special teams. Keep your players hot like Tatar, Kotkaniemi, Domi. I'd like to see Drouin get going. And take an early lead is a big thing for me. I feel when Montreal takes an early lead, every game they take an early lead in, they either go to overtime or they win the game. They just seem to play a lot better when they take an early lead. And if they get a big lead put against them, yeah, they can come back. I do have fight to them, but I prefer to see them play with the lead. And Philadelphia is a team you can get an early lead against. Anyways, I'm looking forward to the game tonight. It's going to be a big game tonight. Check out my recap after the game. Hopefully it's a positive one because I really want Montreal to get this win. I think Carolina and Pittsburgh are both playing tonight, and Buffalo, I'm not sure. Keep an eye out on those teams because those are teams circling around Montreal. Montreal and Pittsburgh are currently tied for the same wildcard spot. Pittsburgh is in the second wildcard spot because they have less regulation wins. But if they were to get even a point more than Montreal tonight, they would slide into that first wildcard spot. So let's hope for a win. I don't care if it's overtime. I don't care if it's regulation. Let's hope for a big win. Let's hope for another big game from Domi. Let's see Drouin step up and let's see Price be solid. Praying Niemi's not in net. I don't know if it's been confirmed Price is in net or not, but I hope he is in net. Anyways, guys, this is Mr. Average Hockey Fan. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Ring that bell for my recaps and my reviews. Keep an eye out for upcoming videos towards the trade deadline. You all have a great day and enjoy the game. Mr. Average Hockey Fan, over and out.